On February 28, 2026, the US and Israel launched a massive coordinated attack on Iran, Operation Epic Fury, and Roar the Lion. This was the climax of months of rising tension after nuclear talks collapsed and hopes for peace vanished. The goal: eliminate Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, and top regime officials, a decapitation strike to throw the country into chaos. US officials cited intelligence of an imminent Iranian missile attack and ongoing nuclear work, framing the strike as self-defense. President Trump announced Khamenei's death on social media, urging Iranians to take over your government. The operation aimed not just for military victory, but to spark a political revolution and end the Islamic Republic's rule. This attack built on previous strikes, notably Operation Midnight Hammer in 2025, which had already weakened Iran's air defenses and nuclear infrastructure. Iran was reeling from economic crisis and internal protests, its leadership vulnerable. With the regime weakened, the US and Israel seized the moment for a decisive blow, hoping to permanently shift the balance of power in the region. The world watched as the Middle East was plunged into a new era. The attack was not just about military might, it was about reshaping the future of Iran and the region. The stakes could not have been higher. The operation's outcome would reverberate far beyond Iran's borders. The fuse for a regional upheaval had been lit. The attack's core tactic was time on target, coordinating missiles and bombs to strike simultaneously, maximizing shock and confusion. US and Israeli forces unleashed hundreds of Tomahawk cruise missiles from ships and submarines, all timed to hit at once. Stealth F-35s and B-2 bombers followed, targeting Iran's most protected sites, including underground nuclear bunkers. Submarines and long-range bombers joined the assault, creating a relentless, unified barrage. Every munition, whether from sea or sky, was part of a single, synchronized plan. The goal: overwhelm Iran's defenses before they could react. The scale was unprecedented. Aircraft carriers in the Arabian Sea and Mediterranean, destroyers in the Gulf, and bombers from distant bases. The first wave struck with devastating precision. Iran's military was caught off guard, unable to mount an effective defense. The operation's timing left no room for Iranian retaliation. The skies over Iran became a battlefield of fire and steel. The message was clear: resistance would be crushed instantly. The opening salvo set the tone for the entire campaign. Before the bombs fell, a silent war raged in the electromagnetic spectrum. US and Israeli forces launched a massive electronic warfare attack, blinding Iran's air defenses. Radar systems were jammed, screens flooded with noise, and false data injected to create phantom threats. Hundreds of mall decoys mimicked fighter jets, overwhelming Iranian operators with fake targets. Iran's advanced Russian and domestic air defense systems were rendered useless. Real stealth aircraft and missiles slipped through undetected. The first wave of Tomahawks destroyed radar stations and missile launchers, crippling Iran's ability to respond. This was SEAD, suppression of enemy air defenses, executed with ruthless efficiency. In minutes, Iran's defensive shield collapsed. Safe corridors opened for bombers and fighters to strike deeper targets. The electronic onslaught ensured the skies belonged to the attackers. Iran's military was left blind and vulnerable. The attack unfolded in 3 waves, each with a clear objective. First, Tomahawks and electronic warfare destroyed Iran's air defenses, clearing the way for manned aircraft. Next, Allied forces targeted Iran's ballistic missile sites, aiming to neutralize its ability to retaliate. Launch pads across the country were hit in a race against time. The third wave struck Iran's strategic assets, military factories, nuclear facilities, and industrial centers in cities like Isfahan and Karaj. Even Qom, the regime's ideological heart, was targeted. The most critical blow landed in Tehran. A precision strike on the supreme leader's compound killed Khamenei and top officials. By hitting leadership, missile sites, and nuclear infrastructure in rapid succession, the US and Israel aimed to dismantle the regime in a single night. The operation was a masterclass in modern warfare. Iran's command structure was shattered. The nation's ability to fight back was crippled. The strike achieved its military goals, but chaos erupted across the region. Iran, though wounded, launched thousands of missiles and drones in retaliation. Operation Truthful Promise 4. US bases and allies across the Middle East came under fire. Air raid sirens wailed in Israel, and American troops were injured in Kuwait. Civilian casualties mounted, over 200 killed, 700 wounded, and a devastating strike on a girls' school in Manab. Some Iranians celebrated Khamenei's death, while the government imposed a near-total internet blackout. Oil shipments through the Strait of Hormuz halted, global air travel rerouted, and the world economy trembled. President Trump faced criticism at home for bypassing Congress. The future of Iran was uncertain. Would it collapse or descend into civil war? The US and Israel had struck with overwhelming force, but unleashed a storm of instability. The Middle East was plunged into a new era of danger and unpredictability. The world watched, anxious for what would come next. The cost of victory was chaos. The fuse of conflict continued to burn.
Join Intel Prime Channel membership today and get access to exclusive benefits, including early access to new videos, exclusive discounts on Intel products, behind-the-scenes content, live chat with me and other members. Other options will be soon available. Thank you for your support and for helping Intel Prime grow.